Yeet.
You know what, mate? You can do the intro this time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the episode 4, 5, I don't remember, 1 or 2 of The Vault, featuring Squizzeh G and me, Quizza. Today we're talking about cool things like technology of the future.
Yes,
gonna be fun.
humanity-saving technologies, potentially, maybe.
Either the technology that saves humanity or the technology that destroys it.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
Ah.
Only time will tell.
So, a few of the stuff we're going to gloss over today is, or stuff I want to talk about anyway, is we've got one on becoming a spacefaring, like a civilization, I guess, and like just a few nitty gritties around that. Commercial space flight, and the last one I'll be talking about is Neuralink. Believe it or not, that's a little bit controversial, but yeah. What about you,
Oh,
Matt?
yeah, it's a good topic. Myself, on the other hand, a bit more about the Starlink side of things. So we're talking about Daddy Elon today.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening, we love you. Please sponsor us because we're poor. And yeah, I'll be talking about Starlink because I know a bit more about Starlink and that sort of thing. So yeah, it should be cool. Should be very exciting to delve into the topics of the future of society today.
Our future for your. Oh, I'll not finish that word. Anyway, all right. So, what's his first topic? So, I guess. I got half the word in there, but if you paid attention, you'll know where I was going. You know where I was going. Speaking of like space and stuff, last night I actually watched a movie with what's the actor name? What's his name again? Oh,
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. There it is. Yes, Brad Pitt. I don't know how I forgot that. Curse me.
Come on, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. It was called Ad Astra. It's a pretty sick movie. I won't lie. The ending's kind of meh. But pretty much it's like set in a futuristic humanity where we've got like space antennas and stuff. And we've got like bases on the moon, bases on Mars, humans going out to the outer solar system. But one thing I noticed in that is that there's a few key aspects of that movie where we, in this day and age, which is I think hundreds of years before the movie's set, are actually really close to achieving like the early foundations of those. And an example would be, so in the movie they have an entire mining sector on the moon, on the bright side of the moon, and it's split between different nations, and it's all like there's no borders, no country owns it. It's like that's your mine, you got to defend it if you want to mine that. But just in like the whole idea of the moon and mining the moon, I think last year we sent, or was it? Yeah, it was last year now. We sent NASA's Artemis program, the first rocket, the Orion, I believe, up and around the moon and back. And I believe in like 2 or 3 years, we'll be sending our first humans up there, back to the moon again to set up a permanent habitats, a space station in orbit. What else? I don't know. A whole bunch of sciencey stuff that I don't know the specifics of, but like we're going back to the moon, and I was like, damn, we're about to do that, and it was in the movie set like hundreds of years in the future. I'm rambling.
Nah, that's fucking sick though, because it's about time. It's when would we last go to the moon? 80s or something?
No, I believe it was
probably a lie.
No, it was end of the it was in the Cold War, right? It was over 50 years ago now. I know that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I still think that's crazy. The fact that no one's been to the moon in 50 years. Like
maybe there's a reason we don't go back, bro. Maybe there's something up there they're hiding.
There's something hiding. It's it's element 115 or whatever that cool shit was. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's about time because what sort of has there been like anything? Do you know anything about resource mining on the moon? What resources are up there? Do you know?
Pretty sure it's a fair bit of iron.
Yeah, no, that's good because I mean it'd probably be better for the fucking economy as well because all that sort of shit.
Yes,
if they can make a way for it to be like a bit more logistical, then that'd be fucking sick. That'd be fucking awesome.
So solar power, oxygen, and metals are abundant resources on the moon, apparently. Oxygen and metals.
Oxygen?
Yeah. Um,
Huh.
hydrogen,
Okay.
oxygen, silicon, iron, magnesium, calcium, aluminum, manganese, and titanium. So it's a lot of very
Mm.
valuable stuff we got sitting up there on our little friend in the sky.
No, that's fucking
Let's go
good because
destroy it. Let's do what
let
humans
me
do
give us
best.
let's give us some freedom. Wait till America finds it, there'll be nothing left. Um. Anyway, I didn't say that, but I love America. I love
Yeah, any
the free
Americans
world.
listening, bro, we love
Yeah, we're just talking shit.
you.
But yeah, no, I feel like it's like SpaceX though as well, like along with NASA and that sort of thing. That
The thing.
SpaceX,
Yep, sorry.
no, SpaceX is like the first like big company that's not NASA. That's like, okay, we want to go to space, sort of thing. That's like out there, if you know what I mean. At
The,
least that I've heard of anyway. There's probably more
yeah,
from other
yeah. So
countries, but
in terms of like commercial space travel, SpaceX is probably going to be the company to do it because unlike NASA, they aren't government funded. They're a private company, obviously funded by the wealthiest man on the planet. Um, whereas NASA, on the other hand, has a really hard time putting together as many testings and as much crap as Elon Musk does because they have a set budget from the US government every year. And so it makes it
yeah,
very hard for them to just do what Elon's doing and just go, let's test Starship 21, 22, 23, 24. And like
yeah,
NASA's just here like, "Ooh, we could go to the moon."
we did we did it one time 50 years ago. We can probably do it now. Please
It's
don't blow up, rocket. Then again, they did have that Apollo 18 disaster that set us back like 135 years because,
yes.
like, rest in peace to those people that died. It was very
It's
sad, but
it's really
unfortunately, it's like,
scary when like stuff
yeah.
like that happens because then the entire like population just loses faith in that company. They're like,
It's
you
just,
killed innocent people. We hate you now. Don't ever build another rocket.
yeah, but the thing is, with shit like that, people know what they sign up for.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
going into
necessary.
space is probably the most dangerous thing that you
Yeah,
could probably do because you're
absolutely.
going into an environment that humans aren't supposed to be in. So naturally, there's a million and five things that can go wrong, which is sort of the thing. But
Uh huh. Uh huh.
but I don't know. I reckon yeah, SpaceX is kind of cool, especially what they've done. Well, my sort of thing anyway, with like Starlink, because
Yes,
they've
sir.
been able to like send bulk satellites up into the sky. If you know what I mean. And I saw somewhere as well they're looking at sending another 51 this year. I think they said
I'm sure they
it's
do way more than that. I'm pretty sure they do like
no.
16 a launch, or
Yeah,
like
no.
16 to 30.
That's what I mean. That's what they were trying. I think they were said. I think I read. Yeah, I read on their website they're trying to launch like 51 new ones. I think it's. I'm pretty sure it was throughout 2023, which is unreal. Like Starlink's the best thing to happen to the internet community
Do
since
you, in your little notes about this, do you have anything in there about what makes Starlink so good?
Starlink is basically it's a high form. It's a different form of satellite internet. The reason it's so good is because it can be accessed by pretty much everyone around the world. Like if you can't get start, I mean, there are some places that like there are like anomalies that are like sort of black spots where because the way it works, it goes from one satellite, and then as that satellite orbits around and then loses connection, another one comes into orbit, sort of thing. So it's like it just like switches connection from one to the other. But some people are in like places where it's like a dead zone basically, so they get like 3 seconds worth, and nah, you got to change, and then it's just bad connection and that sort of thing.
That's
But
only for now, though, right? Like,
no, it's
eventually, the
just
end goal is to have like a net encompassing the world.
yeah, exactly. That's the idea, to have something that's like completely accessible to everyone for a reasonable price. And I think, well, I know someone who's got Starlink, $139 a month. It costs internet wise to get like 200 Mbps, which is
Yeah, the speed, if you're in an area where it's established, the speed is ridiculously good for what it is.
oh yeah,
You
like
literally just get a little satellite, stick it on your roof, and you're bang, you're good to go.
yeah. I've got Telstra, right? Which is in Australia, the main. It's the main
It's one of the
telecommunication
yeah, it's
company in
probably
Australia.
one of the two biggest.
Yeah, between Australia and Optus. However, it's
It's probably the more widespread, I reckon.
yeah, Telstra's more widespread, definitely. However, it's complete garbage where I live. I
Yep.
pay $100 a month, and I get, on a good day, 30 Mbps, which is like just the bare minimum, basically, and it's
Yeah.
just crap. Like I could get Starlink and have better, probably have better internet connection. However, the one of the little cons with it is the weather. If you have crap weather, the internet's rubbish because naturally it has to connect through the clouds, and it's not as good. It just drops in and out, that sort of thing. However, then for me, I'm like, damn, there's nothing like right now where we are. It's just
Oh,
the
bro.
weather's complete rubbish.
Weather's been dog shit for 2 weeks.
It's just been pissing. Like the last 2 nights, it's just been raining, just non-stop. And it's like, man, what am I going to want to do with the crap weather? Is just be inside on the internet, you know?
I do believe though in the future that won't be as big an issue. Like once there's multiple satellite, because I don't know if you've got this in your notes, but I know that the end goal is to have, instead of one satellite and then transitioning to the next, it's like one satellite that has
Yeah.
4 it can transition to before it moves on.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's the idea. But there's just not enough in in orbit at the moment to do that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be it's gonna be sick. And I reckon it's the way of the future. If they can figure out a way to avoid the latency issues with the bad weather. I mean, it's kind of hard, I suppose, because that's just how satellite works. It's just the natural sort of way that it is done. But I don't know. I really like it. It's really good for people who don't have access to the internet, because people in like the middle of nowhere who have no coverage, can't get any internet, can get internet because it's in the sky.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but But other than that, it's obviously linked to the SpaceX because of the way that it because of the way that it uses their rocket system. So
Yes,
technically, they're
Falcon
testing
9.
rockets. They're testing rockets every single time that they send these bloody these satellites up into orbit. So it's basically it's killing two birds with one stone, making a good internet company while also preparing them for commercial space travel, which is sick. I just hope that we can have commercial space travel before I die, which
I
we
agree.
probably will. I can see it happening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, we're not going to be young. I reckon by the time maybe 50, 60, to be honest.
Just real quick, the with the Starlink satellites and stuff. Did you know that they are faster than fiber optic? So
See, that's incredible. That's incredible.
the reason that makes I know a lot about Starlink. I'm kind of bummed
Yeah.
that I didn't do the notes, but the reason that Starlink internet is so good is because the satellites are in the vacuum of space, which allows them to have light speed communications with one another without any hindrance,
'cause
any
it's-
atmospheric interference, any ground interference, which turns out being, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but from New York to London, which are like the 2 biggest trading areas in the world, I believe Starlink will offer several milliseconds faster than, several hundred milliseconds, faster than the current fiber optic that runs between the 2 cities. So
Yeah. That's
crazy
unreal.
fast, ridiculously fast, and that's up in space. So
Yeah. It's unreal, though, the things that friggin' young daddy Elon's managed to do with all
he's
these companies like
insane, bro.
Tesla, all this. It's unreal. He's definitely probably the most technologically advanced person
Yep.
in my
Hands down.
arguably in my lifetime. Like at the moment anyway, they're definitely in the 21st century, I would almost argue. I mean, the only person that's comparable is like the people like Apple and stuff like that, but realistically,
Even then, they're like, I'm as much as I love Apple, their phones are kind of just rinse and repeat every single time.
yeah. But as well, see they might be going to USB-C with the new iPhones because of the
Finally,
yeah.
wasn't there like a lawsuit for them to switch to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's illegal. I don't know the technicalities of it, but it's a legal thing where you have to be able to. I think it's like something to do with output. I'm not 100% certain, but there's a lawsuit that tells them they must do this, so they're
Yeah.
gonna do it. I think. So that's really good. But luckily, naturally, I bought a friggin' iPhone the second they do it. Oh yeah, we're doing USB-C next one. Fucking kill yourselves. Anyway.
Oh damn!
Nah, I'm kidding. That's not nice to say. I love you guys at Apple. You're really
Sponsor us.
nice. Yeah, sponsor us. We need help as I
Um,
drink my Sprite.
Just real quickly to clarify, forgive me, I have a stuffy nose. Anyone listening? So that's why I keep like taking breaths to fucking breathe because I'm going to suffocate if I don't. But back on the topic at hand with commercial spaceflight. The biggest issue with commercial spaceflight is the up until lately has been the ridiculous costs to send stuff to space. I've got some notes here. Let me just voila. So where is it? So the Saturn V, which was what they used to do all the Apollo missions and all that stuff, largest rocket ever built up until the late SLS that they're currently doing for the Artemis project. But in 1970, when the Saturn V was in its use, it was around $6,000 per kilogram to send stuff to space. In today's economy, that values out at about $46,000 per kilo that you want to send to space. Per kilogram.
Bargain.
Where are we at? So, in comparison, SpaceX's Falcon 9, which is the current reusable rocket in use to send Starlinks to space. Reusable, by the way, that's insane. The fact that we've managed to create rockets that go up into space, come back down, land within like a 20-meter radius circle, and ship back to the station and go again the next day. It's ridiculous. But so the current price for a Falcon 9 to send stuff to space is about only $1,600 US. So that is $44,000 cheaper than the Saturn V.
Oh well, you'd like to. It's in the 21st century, and it's finally starting to show it. But yeah, no, as I was saying before, I just want to be able to go to space one day before I die. I reckon that'd be
gets
awesome.
better. So, Elon Musk's SpaceX, yes, has estimated and has an ambition that by 2025 to 2030, he aims the cost for launching, things, weight, food, resources, to space. By 2025 to 2030, he estimates that to be around $200 a kilo. 200, which sounds like a lot, but that means that you could get to space for theoretically, I don't know, I'm a pretty heavy guy, 90 kilos, 90 times 200, I don't know, that's a lot.
18 grand.
18 grand. That's still 18 grand to take a one-way ticket to space. Yeah, 18 grand.
Yeah, you're right. I'm good at maths. Holy shit, what a guess.
Dude, that was fast, bro. Nice.
Damn.
But still, that's a substantial decrease and likely to decrease further in the years to come after that. Especially once we have like a moon base, that will make launching things from base ridiculously cheap because of the low gravity. That's the reason things are so expensive to ship, is because you got to deal with the obviously the atmospheric gravity and how that like holds everything down and makes getting out of the atmosphere stupidly difficult. Do your research on it. I don't know the specifics, but it's crazy. And just for a quick mention, the space shuttle. Everyone knows what the space shuttle is. That nice white bloody space plane strapped to the back of the orange giant booster rocket and the side rockets and boosters and shit. In 1980, that, when it was in its prime usage, was over $50,000 a kilo to send something to space. 50 grand. That's over $180,000 in this economy, just to quickly gloss that over.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Every time you want to send 1 kilo, yes, here's like 50% of a house. Good luck.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. But anyway, look, I'm just hoping that, like, I don't know, I guess within, like, you got to look back to technology, though, for between, like, say, 2002 and now, right? It's been, what, 2023?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, I'm old. But, like, in the last 23 years, we've gone from having like, barely anything, like commercialized use, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Like, this thing is like, you take this back 20 years ago, people go, what the hell is that? Sort of thing, you know what I mean? It's like a bloody, a space phone or some crap like that.
Do you have the iPhone 14?
Yeah, 14 Pro.
How good is that screen and the refresh rate on that bad boy? It's like a 144 hertz monitor and a phone, bro. It's so
crazy.
crisp.
It's unreal. Like, that thing. And even this thing, like, freaking, you got like a computer on your wrist all the time. It's like, god damn. Like, you go back 20 years ago, people would have been like, what the fuck? The computer's a giant freaking box thing. You can't put that on your wrist.
Oh,
like,
bro, I miss playing Super Mario on my giant bloody brick of a
PC. It was like the monitor was like,
even like monitors, box TV, bro.
Yeah, even monitors and stuff nowadays. Like, I look at my monitor, they're like that thick. Like, back in the day, monitors were like this thick.
Do you ever do you ever remember having a big box TV?
Oh,
and you'd press the power button, you'd hear that little buzz of all the static on the screen.
Yeah, press it back. And you'd see like the middle line come out. Open up. Yeah.
We're glory days.
We were in the middle of two generations. We were in the middle of the people who have no idea what technology is, and the people who have every idea of what technology is.
Yeah, playing iPads at 2 years old.
Yeah, no,
Don't give your
that's
kids
enough.
iPads.
Yeah, don't be an iPad kid. Don't give.
Uh,
You can tell when kids are iPad kids. Just
Absolutely.
don't
If you
give them
could
an iPad after they've been running around outside for 5 years.
absolutely. What would you do if you went to space, mate? What would you do?
Space. I don't know. Like,
I feel
what
like
do
there
you
wouldn't
do?
be much to do.
There's not much to do. You're just there for the view more than
Go up
anything. You're
there,
just there
swim
to.
around in zero G, and come back down to Earth.
Yeah, that's about it. Honestly, just to be able to be in zero gravity for a little bit. You
Dude,
just want to be like up there.
I'd love taking a holiday to the moon. Not gonna lie, sounds kind of
That'd be
fun.
that'd be. Oh yeah, that'd be sick. It'd be one of those things like, you just the view, the photos and stuff you could take of the Earth, like with the cameras that we've got. Like by the time we'll be able to do it, like your phone camera will be as good as any camera today.
Pretty sure your camera would get fried by the sun, mate. I don't think you'd be taking any photos with your bloody iPhone
Hey, mate.
32.
Hey man, who knows? Maybe they would have looked into that by then. But anyway,
Have you seen the Elon Musk's like radical idea for terraforming Mars?
no, I've heard about it. I haven't really looked into it. Please divulge.
It's just a small clip I remember seeing, but he was on some I think it might have been the Jimmy Fallon show or some great show
Yeah.
like that. But they were
Yeah,
asking
Jimmy
him, they're
Fallon.
like, "Oh,
Sponsor us.
how do we put trees and stuff on Mars?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, we just drop 2 thermonuclear bombs over either one of the poles and give it a couple hundred thousand years." I was like, "Geez, is there anything we can do like within my within my lifetime? I'd like to go to Mars."
Eh. It sucks though, because we're sort of born like.
We get
I
to
feel like
witness a whole lot of that stuff coming to fruition as we're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in our
It's gonna
deathbeds and they're
suck
like, "Oh,
because
I'm just gonna go to Mars for the weekend."
we're like, kill me. Nah, we're sort of born in between, like we were born at the start of like the technological revolution sort of thing, I guess you
Yeah,
could say.
yeah.
Or I guess sort of in the middle of it more than anything, because that was sort of like in the 80s and
Yeah,
stuff.
we're probably
where
in like the most
technology's-
pivotal point.
Yeah, like,
Pivotal, not pivotable.
yeah. So, but the thing is, by the time it's like 2050, 2060, it's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna start looking into stuff, and it's like, oh, it's gonna happen in 100 years, and we're gonna be like, we're not gonna be here. We're gonna be dead.
I like the idea of humanity doing things in the span of generations because it's like big and it's big stuff. But I hate it because I die before I get to see it happen. So for that sake, call me crazy, but I really hope they invent cryo fucking sleep before I die. So I'm just like,
They won't.
I'm like in my 30s and I'm like, yeah, I'll just let me get put to sleep, all right? Put me under ice and then wake me up when you've figured out how to do it. Joke's on
Yeah,
you, humanity goes to war and everyone gets nuked and you're just there frozen forever.
Hey man, then one day a little monkey comes up and touches a button, and then he come to fruition, and then you're like the only human being alive.
Yeah, sounds like a good movie. I bet there's a movie about that somewhere.
That'd be a good movie to make. We'd like to trademark the rights to whatever the hell we just spoke about.
Who would you cast as main actor?
Ben Stiller. I don't know.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon. Nah. Oh, only human alive. I mean, Matt Damon already did The Martian, so he probably could do it. But,
I reckon a good one to be either Adam Driver or I can't remember his name. Oh, this is really awkward. Matthew McConaughey.
yeah, I feel like Matthew McConaughey. Whenever I see Adam Driver, I can only think of the Kylo Ren memes. More.
Oh no, I'll tell you the only ones I can think of is that movie. And he's like, you something spirit chucking.
Yep. Yes.
And then the best memes is that one mixed with the Star Wars one.
Yep. God, he's just a walking meme at this point. And then there's the one with him and
the thing is, though, he's
Scarlett Johansson.
He's such a good actor. Oh yeah.
Every
day I wake up and wish you were dead.
Yeah. Oh, that's they're all like the same. The same. We just picture them all as the same person, just in different like realities.
He's always the same expressions too.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh
shit.
Yeah. Future of Humanity, Adam Driver.
Yeah, Future of Humanity, Adam Driver. Maybe he can talk to us about Neuralink or something cool like that.
Whoa.
Segway.
Speaking of neural,
The
Dude,
best segue you've ever seen.
that was quite a nice little fucking digression. That's the word I'm looking for.
Digression.
Back to the topic of futuristic stuff for humanity that might just save our lives, which this one will save lives actually, is Neuralink, and it's highly controversial and has drawn a lot of criticism from the public because it involves putting stuff in the brain and connecting electronics to your brain, which is kind of scary because in theory it would give you technically control if you could like hack the piece of Neuralink, it would give you control over someone's brain, which is kind of scary. It is true. It has been discussed that is what could be done. Um, However, you'd have to be a real piece of work to do that to someone. But anyway, so Neuralink is a little tiny little chip that is battery powered that gets put like they cut a nice little thing out of your skull and they put the chip on your brain and they put like I'm pretty sure it's thousands of connectors down into your brain to simulate neuron pathways. And it's pretty sounds pretty daunting. And what happens is a little battery inside your Neuralink gives really micro electronic pulses into those neurons to stimulate the pathways, and then that Neuralink can then be. So I think what they first want to do is they want to try and make paraplegics and quadriplegics and stuff be able to walk and move again, which is scary. It's kind of intimidating. Imagine that you've been, unable to walk for 20 years, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, wiggle your toe.
Yes, Father Elon. Wiggle your toes. Or whatever that freaking meat canyon or whatever it is. just goes into a meat canyon video.
So the primary early function these days is to, like the trials would be to connect the brainstem back to the spinal cord for people who have had severe trauma to there, which is given them the ability not to walk and stuff. Given them the ability not to walk. Okay, taking away their ability to walk. And so, in essence, it bridges the brainstem back to the spinal cord and reconnects those electronic pathways through the Neuralink, which does and will give people who can't walk the ability to walk again. That's just like the first thing they want to do is, helping humanity. And then from there, they plan to delve into all this other stuff. Like they've done testing on monkeys. They had this monkey that was given a computer mouse, like this mouse right here in my hand, and every time he moved the cursor on the mouse into a square, he would get fed his favorite smoothie. I believe it was literally just a banana smoothie. He'd get fed it through a straw, and eventually they turned the mouse off, and they had the Neuralink in his brain, and this monkey was using his brain to simulate the movement of the mouse into the square, getting his smoothie. And he was doing that completely wirelessly, just with his mind connected to the computer. Like there are videos. I don't have the video on me, but you should look it up. It's ridiculously. Cool
I have to. I haven't looked much into Neuralink, to be honest with you. But look, with that sort of stuff, it's obviously there's a very fine line where people are like, "Ooh, this is good, this is bad."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the way technology develops. Everything's going to be a bit controversial. So it's sort of like,
Of course.
with improving quality of life, that's I guess that's the most important thing with that sort of thing, especially with paraplegics and quadriplegics and stuff like that, and definitely because obviously they're just doing nothing and they can't walk, so quadriplegics can't move. So it's like if there's a thing that will make them walk again, they will get it, sort of thing, because
Yep.
what else are they going to do, but it's I guess it's sort of like conveying it to the everyday Joe, like you and me, like we're just regular people.
Yep.
I'm not saying that. Anyway,
Tread lightly.
yeah, I know. I didn't mean it that way, and yeah, people that don't have disabilities. We'll say that people that don't have disabilities, they're convincing them to have something put onto their brain that they could possibly be hacked and controlled by. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like people that are like paraplegics and quadriplegics will be like, yeah, I'll run that risk, sort of thing most of the time. I mean, obviously they're open to their own decision. They're absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying do this, do that, but like if that was me anyway, I'm putting myself in their shoes, sort of thing. If I couldn't walk or something, and if there was something that made me able to walk, give it to me. No?
Yeah, absolutely. Although it does make me question if someone who, say, has been a paraplegic for like 5, 10 years and their legs have degraded to like just skinny like bones that you see, like people have been in
Yeah.
wheelchairs for years.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon it would take in physiotherapy and just really extremely painful exercises to build that muscle back to be able to stand again? That's easily like
Yeah.
10 years, I reckon, of doing that.
Nah. I don't know. I don't know because I mean I don't know if it's really been it's never been done before.
Yeah,
We don't really
exactly. It's
because we don't know what the human body's capable of. If you like start moving your legs and stuff like that and taking the right supplements, I'm sure it could speed it up. Because even just moving your legs would build the muscle back. Like just extending your leg from like being like just still to like just full extension would be hard enough. And if you just do that enough, I guess I mean I don't know. I'm talking hypothetically here because I got no idea, and I haven't heard of situations where like people.
people have
I mean, there
walked
has
again.
been situations where people who have had spinal problems have actually been able to walk again. Like people who break their backs and stuff, and they can walk again.
Yeah.
So it's I guess it all depends on. It's very situational, obviously, but
I'm
as,
just saying that if I was offered Neuralink as like a form to like control my phone and stuff with my brain, I would take it 100%. I don't care. Hack my brain, whatever. You can't do much else to me. Like, what are you gonna do? Make me do the Macarena on a fucking bus stop? Oh,
yeah, imagine that. Imagine you just there, like trying to catch the bus. You like start doing the
start
back.
emoting.
I can't stop. What is it doing?
Um, so on the website, sorry, just random little segue. On the website, they have for Neuralink, they have a section where it says interfacing with the brain. Talks about the link and the neural threads that they push into the brain. So this is what they say on the website. By this is directly from the website. They say, "quote We are aiming to design fully implantable cosmetically." Or that part's not part of the quote. Brain-computer interface to let you control a computer or mobile device anywhere you go. Micron-scale threads would be inserted into areas of the brain that control movement. That's scary. Each thread contains many electrodes and connects them to an implant called the link. That's the part that goes on top of your brain that they stick in there. The link is a sealed implanted device that processes and transmits neural signals. It comes with a charger that you literally place on your head, and it's wireless charging through your skull.
Jesus Christ.
Put a hat on your head and charge your Neuralink, mate. So they do it via precision automated neurosurgery. So no one actually does it. It's like a big robot that scans you and does it all itself. So it's completely like accurate down to the nanometer. And then they have a Neuralink app, and it's being designed to allow you to control your keyboard and mouse directly with the activity of your brain just by thinking about it. The Neuralink app would guide you through exercises that would teach you to control your device. With a Bluetooth connection, you would be able to potentially control any mouse or keyboard with your thoughts. Could you imagine the trolling you could do? Dude, imagine the multitasking you'd have to do in your head. So not only would you have to be thinking about the game you're playing, but you'd also be thinking like WASD, 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 click, 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 move left, move right, mouse. Like, would it eventually just become like autonomous, like second nature?
But
like
that's
breathing?
what the brain does already. That's what your brain does already. The way, like, it autonomously, like when you play games, like when you press WASD, like, and controlling your mouse and stuff like that.
That's
You're already doing that.
That's true. You don't even think. It's just do.
It's like the thought, like I'm thinking right now, I'm going to touch my keyboard. You know, like that.
I guess for a little while you'd have to actively, like, I guess, input the thought into your brain.
Yeah, I guess you get used to it, but I don't know.
That'd be crazy. Like, it's so far fetched that it almost seems like it's something out of like a dystopian future thousands of years from now. But it's
thinking about
within the next
using the force. It's like using
Dude,
the force.
literally.
Using the force to control shit. Like,
you just
can, like,
turn your computer on. No more keyboard. No more mouse. Gone are the days of dirty mouse pads, dusty keyboards. It's just all in your mind, and you are literally just stuff. That's crazy.
Imagine,
So
imagine
crazy.
like just like getting like a massive monitor, wall mounting it, just standing there like
You're just standing in the room, just playing a game with
staring
your
at this-
mind.
Bro, that's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to even think about. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it develops because it's like you said, it's already in development, and it's
Yeah,
like,
they're very close to human testing.
yeah, that's what I mean. Within the next 20 years, we're gonna.
No, I think it's closer than that. I'm pretty sure they want to do human testing within the next few years.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, but within the next
Oh, like
20
the
years,
final.
we'll be
Yep,
able
yep,
to
yep, yep, yep.
we'll be able to find out like what its pros and cons are and talk more about it. I guess because
It's like vaping. Everyone thought it was cool, and now all of a sudden they're like, "There's all these diseases with it. Don't do it." And they're like, "Nah, you just don't want me to vape." Meanwhile, you start vaping and your lungs collapse like a week later. True story.
yeah, a
That's why.
story for another time.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because we need to keep our own topics to ourselves because otherwise we can't come up with them.
Yeah. Topics. Let us know what you want to hear. By the way.
Exactly right. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, I mean, we're open to suggestions. Obviously, we come up with this morning because we were like, damn, I've been thinking all week of what to talk about, and then like couldn't think of anything. So I sort of this was in the back of my mind. So I was like, we'll talk about this because it's a bit entertaining. I mean, it's a bit scuffed, but anyway, it's good. It's
Oh,
good.
it's good.
We got to come up with other stuff.
I can't wait for commercial spaceflight. Hopefully, I am wealthy enough to be able to afford that kind of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like there'd be no point. I know that it would decrease flight time. Like if you were to do commercial space flight from like country to country, it would decrease that a huge amount because there's obviously no atmospheric drag. You're just up in zero G. You can let the planet come to you, kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff like that. But other than that,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you just boost a little bit and wait for bloody the USA to come around to you while you're just sitting above the planet. Like, I guess that's a really broad way to put that. But
just like sitting there, I can see the America movie.
it's just coming to you.
Downtime. That'd be.
But I feel like unless you worked in space, I feel like there'd be no reason to go to space unless you're going to another country.
Yeah, exactly right. Unless you worked on like a moon base or something like that.
If they offered you to go to Mars to be part of the first colony, would you take it?
I don't know because that's a really hard question because it depends on where I am in life. I guess
Right now, if they said, we
want
want you to be the first colonizer of Mars, you'll be one of the wealthiest people on the planet. Like, we'll give you all this stuff. I'd be very tempted personally. If they said that I'd be rich as hell on Mars.
No,
you get to Mars rich as hell. It's just you've got 7 tons of dirt. Good luck.
I got a jar of dirt.
I got a jar of dirt.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really weird. That's a tough question because obviously I don't know. I kind of like my life. It's just all right. Like I'm content. I'm like studying, be teacher and shit. Like it'll be. I'm pretty content. I mean, some days I'm like, damn, kill me. But other days I'm like, you know what?
It ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad. Like obviously, no. I mean, if you think about it, like going to Mars, it's like you could just get there and die. Like
that's true. I guess that's literally the plot of The Martian. These days it's like, I think they've cut it down to like 5 months. It used to be like 8, then it was 6, and I think they've cut it down a little bit now.
Yeah, okay. See, that's not too bad. Like.
The only bad thing about that long in space is that it lowers your bone density.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they'll have to just figure out artificial gravity first, I suppose.
Centrifugal forces, mate. You just spin. And it pushes you to the outside. You just need a spaceship big enough.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that movie.
That's a lot of movies.
Nah, the one with Jennifer Lawrence and what's his name?
Oh, Passages, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, bro. I love that movie. That's such a good movie.
That's pretty good. Like, don't remember the spaceship like spinning and shit. That's cool, man.
Anyways, I think we've pretty much covered everything. We don't really. I've come to realize in this podcast we don't really like give any insights to it. We kind of just talk about it, which I guess is what a podcast is.
Yeah, I don't know. We just talk about that. I don't know.
You crazy people listen to this?
Yeah, exactly right. Like, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, give us topics to talk about because all we really do is just bounce ideas off each other and just like see what. Like we gone from talking about like space actually like what would you do if you lived on Mars and shit. I don't know.
I actually realized halfway through this episode that we got to do that kind of stuff. We just got to chuck in some random questions, take the conversation places.
Indeed we do. It just like to be a bit logistical, We're gonna come up with some more stuff for it and that sort of thing as well. But no, it's gonna be good. We're gonna this next podcast is gonna be 10 times better. I promise. I'm gonna come up with a sick idea.
Sick
and we're
idea.
Fucking kill it. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but
I'll come loaded on caffeine.
Yeah.
It's kind of late tonight. I kind of recorded a little bit late.
Yeah, a bit of a late night, but that's all right. It don't matter because we make it happen every Sunday, 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. Subscribe on Spotify and YouTube and do all that cool stuff because, yeah,
It's a great answer.
up the
It's a great-
cutters. I don't know.
Haven't
Nah.
had that in a while, mate.
Look, when in Rome.
When
Nah,
in
but
Rome.
If you guys did like the episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends or whatever if they think that they would enjoy it. We try
Yeah.
to be as entertaining as physically possible while also being as much ourselves as physically possible. We don't like forcing anything because that makes it cringe.
Absolutely.
So, you know what? If you don't like us, well, sorry.
You know what?
Like
I want
us
to do an
anyway.
episode on black holes one day.
Yeah, 100%.
I could
I
go
need to,
all
I need to do like
nerding out,
we need to
bro.
get like for those episodes. I need to like do like research. Like I'll do like fucking
Oh,
the
mate,
amount
I
of
could-
research I put into a uni assignment.
Off the top of my head, I could talk about black holes for probably like an hour. I am a
Yeah.
space connoisseur, one would say.
Yeah, space is freaking cool, man.
Yer.
But unfortunately, we may go there, we may not. Find out next week on Total Drama Island.
Tell mom and dad I'm doing fine. You guys on my mind. I love that show, bro. That show was sick.
That was a pretty good show back in the day.
Reality TV show for kids.
Yes, indeed. If you haven't heard of it, it's an Australian thing. It's an Australian thing. Is
Yeah.
it?
Oh, I mean, it's American accents, but yeah, I think it's an Australian. I think it's like
I think
mainly
it's
in
Australian.
Australia.
If not, go watch it. It's kind of entertaining.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, everyone. Like the fucking video, or else I'm gonna come to your house and
Hey, don't threaten.
pat you on the head.
We don't want to. We don't do threatening here. That's not cool.
Subscribe,
we
share it
appreciate
around,
yous.
all that shit.
Yeah, help us out with the algorithm, all that. The algorithms, algorithm, is a hard one.
The algorilla.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm trying to learn how to speak better.
Pump that
I'm trying to speak
algorilla.
more eloquently. But yeah, go follow us on Twitch and stuff, and subscribe on YouTube. And that's gonna be cool. Please
All
like,
right.
subscribe, and peace. Thanks for watching. Have a good
Adios.
day.